They looked at you, saw the falls, saw the jail time, saw the road miles, the scars, the dyslexia twisting words like barbed wire. They decided he's capped. That's his limit. Game over. Bullshit. Every single one of them is wrong. Dead wrong. You don't graduate once from the school of life and call it quits. You graduate twice. 3 times, 10 times. Each time you hit rock bottom and claw back up, that's another diploma in blood and grit. They think failure stamps an expiration date on you. You know better. Every scar is a receipt. Every fall is tuition paid in full, and your still enrolled class never ends. Limits? That's their lie, not your law. People love diagnosing shit they've never lived. Your dyslexic stick too simple. You've been to jail, good luck climbing out of that hole. You talk raw and stumble over words. Nobody's going to take you seriously. Watch what they're actually doing. They're not protecting you. They're protecting themselves. Because if you break through dyslexic, scarred, stumbling, real, then they have to admit they quit on themselves. For way less, that's what limits are, not walls. Not laws of physics, they're anesthesia, a slow drip that numbs you until you can't feel the difference between I can't and I won't, between that's my ceiling and that's where I stopped climbing. We've all swallowed that needle at some point, the teacher who said you weren't college material, the boss who capped your promotion before you even applied. The voice in your own skull that whispers you've peaked every time you hit resistance. But here's the thing about anesthesia, it wears off if you move. Rock Lee had 0 chakra, 0 shortcuts. The entire ninja world looked at him like a birth defect. Sorry, kid, you're biologically capped. He didn't argue. He just trained until his bones fractured, until his hands bled, until he moved so fast the talented kids couldn't even track him. He turned limitation into a weapon sharper than anything genetics could have given him. Naruto? Village pariah, demon container. The kid they literally legislated into isolation. Limit wasn't stamped on his forehead, it was carved into village law. He looked at impossible and made it his morning routine, not because he was special, because he refused to accept their script, your limit. It's a prescription you don't have to fill. You can hold it in your hand, stare at the label, read the warnings, feel the weight of everyone who took it before you. Then you can crumple it up and set it on fire, because you're not asking for permission anymore. You decide when the climb stops, or if it stops at all. Want to prove every last one of them wrong? Simple. Keep showing up, keep falling, keep rising heavier. Cold floor at 4:59. Get up, mic in front of you, words fighting back. Speak anyway. Dyslexia twisting sentences. Push through, let the stumbles be your war cry. Every rot ache, every unscripted video. Every time you open your mouth and truth comes out scarred and real, that's you rewriting their script. Ask it every damn day, every friction point. What would the version of me who already proved them wrong do right now? Then do that. No negotiation. No waiting for perfect. No hiding behind limits. Each rep is evidence. Each stumble is ammo. Each upload is a brick in the wall you're building to bury their doubt. We've all felt that moment, the lungs burning, the grip slipping, the voice cracking mid-sentence when the body screams quit, but the soul whispers one more. That's the exact second the doubters lose. That's when their limit cracks like dry bone under your boot. Confucius didn't quit when it was slow. He just refused to stop. Lao Tzu said, start with one step, doesn't matter how small, just don't quit. Roosevelt lived the strenuous life, toil, pain, daring greatly because the timid who never try never prove a damn thing. The arena doesn't care about their opinion. Step back into the arena. Dust, sweat, blood, failure, stench. They said you'd never make it here. Prove them wrong by staying, by falling short again and again, by getting up anyway. Roosevelt's words burn eternal. Credit belongs to the one whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, dares greatly even if he fails. He fails while pushing limits they swore were unbreakable. Never to the cold, timid souls who sit on the sidelines, whispering he can't. Own the dust, own the falls. Own the 8 times you hit dirt, because those 8 are pure intel, wrong footing, bad timing, weak grip, dead path, 9 thries. You're carrying 8 lessons in your bones, smarter, tougher, more precise, and yeah, dyslexic as hell. words still fighting me every take, but I keep recording, keep speaking, keep pushing past my own wiring to be better than yesterday. That's not weakness. That's the loudest fuck you to every limit anyone ever tried to pin on me. Final roar, they're wrong, and you're just getting started. You don't know your limit because you haven't hit it yet, and maybe you never will, because every time they say that's it, you laugh, fall again, learn faster, rise heavier. No more accepting their ceiling. No more graduating once and calling it done. School of life has no final bell. You keep enrolling, keep paying tuition in sweat, keep collecting diplomas in scars. Right now ask it raw. What would the me who's already proved them all wrong do? Then do it. No excuses, no retreat, no limits but the ones you choose to burn. Feel that fire ripping your ribs apart. That's not doubt, that's proof waking up. That's your real life roaring back at every doubter. Prove 'em wrong again and again and again. Fall if you have to, fall smarter. Rise heavier every time. Speak prouder, stumbles and all. The world needs warriors who graduate twice, 3 times, forever unfiltered, battle-tested, real as hell. You're not capped, you're just beginning. Go show 'em be fucking unstoppable. You want to prove every last one of them wrong? Stop trying to win an argument. Start building an evidence locker. We've all stood there at the edge of the bed at 5 o'clock a.m. The floorboards aren't just cold. They feel like they're made of ice and judgment. The silence in the house is heavy. It's the weight of everyone who expects you to stay under the covers. That's where the work begins. Not in the win, but in the friction. Every time your feet hit that grit on the floor when you want to hide that as a receipt. Every time you sit in front of this mic and your throat feels like sandpaper and you speak anyway that as a deposit. We talk about reps like they're just numbers. They're not. Reps are the calluses you. Grow over your own ego. Look at me. The dyslexia isn't a glitch. It's the texture of the work. When a word trips me up, when I stumble and the sentence fractures, I don't edit it out. Why? Because that stumble is sensory proof that I am currently outworking my own wiring. It's the sound of a machine being pushed past its factory settings. Every raw take you see, every unscripted roar. Every time the truth comes out scarred and jagged, that's me adding to the evidence locker. It is a body of work so undeniable that their opinions start to look like hallucinations. Ask yourself this when the resistance hits. What would the version of me who already burned their doubt do right now? Then do it. Mechanically, don't wait for the spark. Sparks are for amateurs. We are looking for combustion. Lao Tzu didn't say the first step was easy. He just said it was the only thing that existed. Confucius didn't care about the mountain. He cared about the individual stone in his palm and the grit it left on his skin. Roosevelt didn't want a clean life. He wanted the strenuous one. He wanted the toil. He wanted the bitter effort because he knew that a life without friction is a life that leaves no mark. Stop asking for the path to be smooth. The smoothness is the lie. The friction is the proof. Have you ever felt a wall in front of you? A wall you didn't build, but it's there, telling you what you can and can't do. It whispers, you're not smart enough, you're not talented enough, you don't have what it takes. These walls are our limits. Some are put there by others, some by our circumstances. But the most solid, most imprisoning walls are the ones we build ourselves, brick by brick, with our own doubts and fears. Today, I want to talk about breaking down those walls. I want to talk about rewriting the story of what's possible for you. Think about it. Every single great achievement in human history started with someone deciding that a limit was just a suggestion, not a law. Someone looked at the sky and refused to believe we were bound to the ground. Someone saw a disease and refused to accept it as a death sentence. They saw a wall, and instead of turning back, they started looking for a sledgehammer. Your sledgehammer is your belief. It's the unwavering conviction that you are more than your current situation, more than your past mistakes, more than the labels people have tried to stick on you. Your potential isn't a fixed quantity measured at birth. It's a vast, unexplored ocean, and most of us spend our lives paddling in the shallows, afraid to see how deep it really goes. I know what you might be thinking. That's easy for you to say. You don't know my struggle. You don't know the mountains I have to climb. You're right, I don't, but I know the nature of mountains. They look impossible from the bottom. Every step up is a battle against gravity, against the burning in your lungs, against the voice in your head telling you to just give up and go back down where it is safe and easy. But what happens when you keep climbing? One step at a time, you get a little higher, the view starts to change. The things that looked so big from the ground start to shrink, and you realize something incredible. You are stronger than you thought. Each step you take, no matter how small, isn't just a step up the mountain. It's a crack in the wall of your self-imposed limits. Overcoming limits isn't about one giant leap of heroism. It's about the small, consistent acts of courage you perform every single day. It's choosing to study for an extra hour when you're tired. It's making that phone call you've been dreading. It's getting up and trying again after you've fallen flat on your face. It's forgiving yourself for not being perfect and committing to being better tomorrow than you were today. Failure is a huge part of this process. We're taught to fear failure, to see it as an end point. But failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of it. Failure is data. It's a lesson. It tells you what doesn't work so you can get closer to what does. The only true failure is the failure to try. The only unbreakable limit is the one you refuse to challenge. Think about a muscle. How does it get stronger? By being pushed to its limit, by being torn down a little so it can rebuild itself stronger than before. Your character, your resilience, your creativity, they all work the same way. You have to be willing to feel the strain. You have to embrace the discomfort of growth. The comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there. So how do you start? You start small. Identify one limiting belief you hold about yourself, just one. Maybe it's the belief that you're bad at public speaking, or that you'll never be able to run a mile, or that you're not creative. Now, what is one tiny action you can take this week to challenge that belief? Not to disprove it overnight, but just to question it, just to poke a small hole in that wall. If you think you're a bad public speaker, volunteer to say a few words in a low-stakes meeting. If you think you can't run a mile, try running for just 1 minute, then walk for a few, then run for another minute. The goal isn't to run the mile today. The goal is to prove to yourself that you can start. That's the most powerful step. Of all, surround yourself with evidence that your limits are breakable. Read stories of people who started with less than you and achieved incredible things. Talk to people who are doing what you want to do. Let their belief in themselves rub off on you. Limit your exposure to negativity and to people who reinforce your doubts. Your environment is critical. It can be a greenhouse for your growth or a freezer that keeps your potential on ice. And please be kind to yourself on this journey. There will be days when the wall seems taller than ever. Days when you feel like you've taken 10 steps back. On those days, remember how far you've come. Remember the small victories, celebrate them, acknowledge your effort. Self-compassion is not an excuse for inaction. It's the fuel that allows you to keep going when the tank feels empty. If you're struggling, remember that reaching out for support is a sign of immense strength. Talking to a friend, a family member, or a mental health professional can provide you with the tools and perspective to keep moving forward. You don't have to carry the weight alone. Your life is your story. Right now, you hold the pen. The previous chapters may have been written by your circumstances, your upbringing, or your fears. But this chapter, the one you're living right now, you get to write that. You get to decide what your character does next. Will they stay inside the walls, comfortable but confined? Or will they step outside into the unknown in pursuit of something more? The world is desperate for what only you can bring. Your unique ideas, your unique talents, your unique story of overcoming. Don't let a self-imposed limit rob the world of your contribution. Don't let fear write the final chapter of your story. So I ask you again, what is your wall? Look it in the eye, see it for what it is, not an impassable barrier, but an invitation to discover your own strength, an invitation to grow, an invitation to become the person you were always meant to be. Take a deep breath, pick up your sledgehammer, and take the first swing. Thank you so much for watching. If this message resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content to help you build your best life. I'll see you in the next one.